Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome you all again for this seminar on the very important topic of Harinam Cintamani, which is written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, for all of our benefit, to have a wonderful understanding of this very important subject. Right? So we will have a little bit of this one. So this is the same thing. The approach will remain the same. We are going to study the offenses to the holy name and their remedies, and to effectively learn that. Yesterday we studied about some subjects from Madhurya Kadambini, and also we have made this in a simpler way by substituting certain concepts from Upadeshamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So in that way, we can effectively present in a short time so this elaborate subject. And then a lot of practical tips are going to be there. So the main content will be from 7:30 to 8:30, Q&As for 15 minutes, and then the assessment. We will try to send it as quickly as possible today, and then we will devotees can fill up the assessment. Okay, so now there is a recap of the previous session that we had done. So this is the essential principles. Yesterday, you all might have seen so many different technical topics are discussed, but these are the essential things that we need to take home. So that is, goal of life is Krishna Prema. And to attain that goal, bhakti is the best and only process. Karma, jnana, and yoga, they cannot help us, right? So only bhakti is the process that can actually help us to reach that goal. And then by executing the limbs of bhakti, we will proceed from Shraddha to Prema. There are different levels of advancement. So it is going to a faraway place. There are many milestones that we cross. And by knowing these things, the Acharyas are very merciful. They have given us these milestones. By knowing these milestones, we will be very careful in our, we'll be very careful in our path. If we are not seeing these milestones, then we have to check that are we proceeding in the right direction. So this is a very important this one. So to understand the different stages of bhakti, and then the best among the items of the bhakti is chanting the holy names of the Lord, because it is Yoga Dharma, because it is given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, and because it is coming down in the parampara, and because we are asked to chant the names of the Lord by our spiritual master, by Srila Prabhupada, and all the eminent acharyas in our line of parampara. So this is the way of practicing Krishna consciousness, keeping the holy name as the primary method for advancement, right? And then we also understood that we cannot control Krishna and we cannot control the holy name. So we must offer prayers and Krishna will reveal himself. Now, when we offer sincere prayers, then Krishna will mercifully reveal himself in the form of his holy name. Right? So these are some essential things that we learned yesterday. Right? So in today's session, we are going to have a few important things. So first is that we are going to see the identity of the holy name. And second is primary and secondary names of the Lord, and different types of chanting. So that is the Namaparad, Namabas, and Shuddhanam, and things like that. And then effective sadhana. So what is the effective sadhana? So that we will see. And then Namabas and remedy for Namabas. So that also we will see. And then we will discuss amongst all the offenses, we will discuss the first offense to the holy name today and its remedy. So these are all some of the things that we will be studying today. And after that, so there will be question answer session for 15 minutes. And the questions which are not answered in the session now will be answered in the WhatsApp group. And the assessment is there at the end. So this is today's agenda. So now the first item is the identity of the holy name. So this is a very important shloka which describes the identity of the holy name. So this is Nama Cintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatvam Nama Namina. So this like Nama Cintamani, so the holy name is Cintamani. Just like Krishna is Varadaraj, he is best amongst the givers of benedictions. And in the same way, the name of the Lord is also like Cintamani. It can fulfill all the desires of the living entity. And then Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. So Chaitanya means the name of the Lord is not unconscious sound vibration, just like earth, water, fire, air, ether. So corresponding to that, we have different material elements, so that they are like form, touch, sound, and things like that. So the sound is counted amongst one of the material elements. So, but the name, when it is vibrated, it may be looking like a normal sound, but actually it is not normal sound. It is Chaitanya. It is conscious entity, right? So it is a conscious entity because it is non-different from Krishna. And Krishna is supremely conscious. He is the supreme consciousness of entire creation. And in the same way, the name of Krishna is also supremely conscious, right? And then Rasa Vigraha. The name of Krishna can reciprocate with every single living entity in a unique way, right? So Rasa Vigraha. So the Lord is Rasa. Raso vai saha means the Lord is full of mellows, full of wonderful relationships and things like that. And the holy name is also full of rasa, right? And then Purna Shuddho, it is completely pure. So and Nitya Mukta, it is ever liberated. And then Abhinnatvam Nama Namina. So like it is non-different from Krishna. The holy name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. So in all aspects, right? So holy name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. In one of the, I think in future sessions, we will see Krishna has invested his material energy into the Karma Kanda. Krishna has invested his capacity of liberation in Jnana Kanda. And Krishna has invested all his energies, just like as if he would be there, if all the energies would be present with him. In the same way, with bhakti and with the holy name, he has invested all his energies, right? So, like in that way, like the holy name is completely, it is non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the identity of the holy name. And there are different types of names that are there. So what are these different types of names? So the first is the primary and the second is secondary names. So primary names means those describing the names of Krishna with his with the pastimes with his dear devotees, taking shelter of Lord's pastimes. So the Lord has pastimes with his devotees, like he is son of Yashodamaya. So Yashodanandan, like Krishna, Govinda, Giridhari. Giridhari, he lifts Govardhan hill for what purpose? For the purpose of saving his devotees. Or his devotees are involved, then his name become very special, right? Govinda means he is the pleasure giver of the cows and also to the senses of his devotees, right? So then, his devotees and cows are involved, then it is very, very special. Krishna means all attractive. This is the supreme name. This is the all powerful and original name of the Supreme Lord. So that is also primary name. And Gopala. So like the Lord who maintains the cows, and Gopinath, the Lord who is the master of his dear devotees. So in this way, the names of the Lord, which is connected to the pastimes of Lord with his dear devotees, that becomes the primary names, right? And then the names indicating the Lord's function in the material world, just like Ishvara, no, is the controller. Janardana, he is the maintainer of the people of the world. And Paramatma, he is residing in every single living entity's heart. And Shrishtikarta, no, he is the creator of this universe. Vidata, no, he is the one who is giving the destiny of various people. So these are all Lord's function in relation to the material world, in relation to the working of the material world, and not in connection with his devotees. So these are all called as the secondary names of Krishna. And these secondary names can at best give some material piety, and at the max, it can give the liberation, from this material existence. But it cannot help us enter into the Vaikuntha Loka. It cannot help us to enter into Goloka Vrindavan. It cannot help us to get prema, towards Krishna. So that is not possible, right? So Krishna prema means entering into the realm of spiritual existence in a particular relationship, Sakya, Dasya, Sakya, then Vatsalya and Madhurya. So any one of these relationships, if I have to have any one of these relationships and enter into the spiritual domain, so that is called prema. So in the stage of prema, or a particular relationship with the Lord as a servant, as a friend, or as a parental devotee, or as a lover, that will be revealed at the stage of prema. And in the further stages, when we enter into the Nitya Leela of the Lord. So this, the primary names of the Lord, when we make that as a sadhana and practice, that can actually take us to the level of Krishna Prema. So the other names, the secondary names, they cannot give this privilege of entering into the spiritual existence. Okay. So now there are types of chanting. So we have to chant the primary names of Krishna, and this primary name of Krishna can be chanted in different ways. So one is called Namaparad, where it is extremely impure chanting, where the prema is completely blocked, and Namabas means a slight appearance of the name is there. So then it is called, then the prema or the goal we will get over a period of time slowly, right? And then the Shuddha Nam. It's a pure name. So the pure name can give the prema very quickly, because it is Krishna himself in full force. So in that way, so we will be detailedly discussing about all these things in the later session or in later today. So we will completely cover Namabas. And in the Namaparad, there are 10 offenses to the names of the Lord. So these 10 offenses, one by one, we will be discussing. So today we will be discussing the first aparad, and in the further sessions, we will cover all the 10 offenses, right? So thus, the whole seminar will be completed by describing these elements, and then trying to learn the techniques of chanting the Shuddha Nam from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the very, very eminent Acharya in our line, right? So now we'll see the effective sadhana. So we have understood the name, identity of the holy name that is non-different from Krishna. And then we should chant the principal name of Krishna. And then we should chant the names of Krishna devoid of Namabas and Namaparad. So this is the summary slide for all that we have discussed till now. This is effective sadhana, right? So we should chant the primary names of Krishna. First of all, we should understand Krishna and his holy name is non-different. And we should chant the primary name and principal names of Krishna. And we should chant these principal names, giving up Namabas and Namaparad. And it is a practical activity, and we will be able to do that if we follow the guidelines given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we should be very, very grateful. So when we actually try to chant the names of the Lord, we should remember our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and the previous acharyas like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, and the 6 Goswamis, and the Panchatattva, and Sri Radha and Krishna in the form of the holy name. So we should remember all of them. If not for them, if not they have explained these things in such a nice way, how can we ever out of nowhere, how can we ever reach this perfection or even attempt to reach the perfection? It is very difficult. It is just like if you are asked to go to a particular place and you ask, what is the address? No, we don't know the address. Okay, at least give a GPS location. No, I can put it on Google and go. So, but no, that is also not there. But somehow or other you go. It is quite difficult. It's not possible, right? So here we see that holy name is given to us, and all the pitfalls and all the obstacles that can come in practicing chanting this holy name is detailedly described, and practical remedies are given for each and every obstacle. So what more we can actually ask from the acharyas? No, this is what is the great benediction that we are getting from the acharyas, and we should be grateful to them, and we should always offer thanks, to the acharyas. Always we should be grateful to these personalities. And this is also one of the important sadhana, to being grateful to all the acharyas who has given us this wonderful knowledge, right? So by doing that, our effectiveness in the sadhana actually increases, right? So these are the primary three principles. I'm just repeating again, it's very, very important. We should understand Krishna is non-different. Krishna and the names of Krishna is non-different. And one should chant the principal names of Krishna, and one should chant avoiding namabas and namaparat, right? TK. So now we will go forward. So overcoming namabas. So how can we overcome the namabas? We discussed this to some extent yesterday also. In order to overcome namabas and obtain pure name, the living entity must serve the genuine guru with great attention. It's very, very important. So how do we overcome namabas? By serving a genuine guru with great attention. By doing this, the anarthas or impurities in the heart will disappear, and the pure name endowed with all spiritual potency will dance on the devotee's tongue. Right? So this is effectively, if we see, we will cover another important aspect, like serving the genuine guru means like it is not just like being by his side and then taking care of his physical needs. So that is also service. So an important way of service is to remember all the instructions that we have got from our spiritual master, remember all the instructions that we get from our senior devotees, and then make a document of that, and then go through them again and again, because I am a servant and my lifeline is the service to my spiritual master and the Vaishnavas, right? So a servant's important duty is to know what is his service, and that is spelled out by the spiritual master and by the senior devotees. So it is very essential that we catch these instructions and then we keep it very close to our heart, and we review and see every time that are we progressing in this direction? Are we executing these instructions? Are we pleasing these personalities like the spiritual master? So how to do that? So it is very, very important. So just like we all know what pleases Srila Prabhupada. Now, Srila Prabhupada is pleased when his books are distributed. Srila Prabhupada is pleased when the message of Krishna consciousness, the message of holy name is propagated and preached. So like in this way we know, and then we know like what our spiritual masters like. And by hearing their lectures regularly and by interacting with them by the way of submitting our service report, whatever is the service that we are trying to do. So we should periodically send it to our spiritual master and the senior devotees that this is what I have been doing in your service. Hope this pleases you, right? So when we do that, so then by the mercy of the spiritual master, so the ignorance, the anarthas, and the impurities, they actually get, they actually disappear from the heart. Vidunoti suhrit satam, right? So, and it happens, and then when the ignorance is dissipated, so the holy name is like the sun, and the impurities and the anarthas is like the cloud that is covering the sun. And when the clouds are dissipated, what remains is full-blown sun, very, very powerful, right? So that's the thing that we are trying to attain, right? Okay. So now we see that, so before we describe namabas, we see that qualification for a spiritual practice. So what all things are needed? What are the qualifications needed for embarking into this path of Krishna consciousness, in the path of chanting the names of the Lord? So this is the thing. Faith is the main qualification. Shraddha mulya shuddha naam se hatete bikar. Right? So this is, when we give Shraddha, when we invest our faith in Supreme Lord, so then we will get the quality of name that we are chanting will also be like very nice. And how do we get this faith? We have already discussed by the way of serving the spiritual master and by pleasing him. When a spiritual master is very pleased with us and then he blesses, then our faith increases. And then with that increased faith, we can purchase, purchase the Shuddhanam, right? So that is the Shraddha Mulya, the Mulya, or the amount that I have to pay for getting the pure bhakti or pure holy name is the faith that I have to invest, right? So now, a person with faith can accept the name, and he is called Adhikari. No, he has got the Adhikar to get the name. So if he has got the faith. And no restrictions like consideration of time, place, cleanliness, and all these things are there. And the name itself overcomes all the restrictions by its invested power. And whoever takes the shelter of the holy name in Kali Yuga with great faith achieves the highest perfection in life. By taking shelter of name exclusively, avoiding worship of other devatas, and like avoiding any other means, no other support taken, exclusive shelter of the holy name, exclusive shelter of Krishna in the form of holy name. So that will ensure that we will reach the Krishna Prem, very soon. So the other practices like charity, sacrifice, bathing in the holy places, and the mantra recitation. So these things has restrictions in performance according to consideration of place, time, and cleanliness. So this cannot be accessed all the time. It has a particular, particular place, time, and cleanliness that is needed. And then need to worship devatas according to strict scriptural rules and regulations. And it is not possible in the age of Kali, right? So it is very important. The holy name is our savior, and it is the most powerful entity, and it can be purchased with faith, and there is no other considerations. Means any position we are in. We are in the middle of the night. We are getting some horror dream or something like that. So immediately we can take shelter of the name. So, but for worshipping deity, for worshipping, or to take shelter of any other principles here, so like it requires a certain amount of cleanliness and certain rules and regulations to be followed and things like that. But the names of the Lord is just like a parent, just like a loving parent. It can be accessed anytime. The Lord can be accessed anytime, right? So it is very, very important. The qualification, the primary qualification is the faith. Faith means faith in the scriptures. Faith means faith in the descriptions and glories which are mentioned in the scriptures, glories of the holy name mentioned in the scriptures. So that's the primary thing, faith. So this is there. So then we can actually move ahead, in the path of chanting the names of Krishna. And the Namabas, so this is what we are going to discuss now. So we saw that the Shuddhanam, we are now separated from the Shuddhanam because of Namabas and the aparad, these are the different things which are actually separating us. And we understand this Namabas, like what it is. So Namabas is a dim light of holy name due to blocking of cloud and mist. So now we see that here there is sun is there, but then there is thick clouds are there. The effect of sun, we can understand that sun is there over there, but we cannot see the sun in its full glory, right? So holy name is covered. The same pure holy name is covered. So because of that covering, only a faint light is coming. So that light is called Namabas, right? So the holy name is not, actually the holy name cannot be covered. It is only we are covered, just like the sun. Now here if you see these clouds are not able to cover the sun. The sun is such a powerful entity. It is only covering our vision. In somewhere else in the planet, the sun may be very clearly visible. But in the horizon where I am seeing, so there the clouds are there, and the clouds are obstructing the rays of the sun. So the holy name cannot be covered. It is like Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah. Taktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti so Arjuna. So Krishna's birth and activities, or the holy name's glory, cannot be covered by ignorance or anarthas and things like that. The holy name is ever liberated, Nitya Mukta. Holy name cannot be covered by something, right? So it is Nitya Mukta, and Shuddha, always, Purna Shuddha. So, but we, like when our eyes are covered, with some obstruction, so then we will not be able to see the holy name clearly. We will not be able to perceive the holy name clearly. So that kind of stage is called Namabas, right? And when what separates the living entity from Shuddhanam? So there are two kinds of separations which are there. One is called philosophical separation, which is dangerous. Philosophical separation is like, oh, the name of the Lord is different from the Lord. And then the name is material. No, it's just a material sound vibration and things like that. So it is just like a pious and well cultured Mayavadi. No, so like he's very pious. He is very clean. No, he doesn't eat onion and garlic, and he follows all the rules and regulations in the scriptures. But he thinks that I can also become Krishna. No, so that is Mayavadi, right? So like I can also become that one with that absolute truth. So there is no difference between the absolute truth and myself, right? So in that way, like that is called the philosophical separation. We are not getting the actual perception of the holy name as the Lord himself, and I am the servant of the holy name. So we are not able to get that actual perception. So like we are deviated or we are separated by a philosophical idea. So then it is very dangerous. There is another, this one is there, where we are syllabic, in pronunciation, we are not good, or weakness of heart, we are attached to material things, and because of which we are not able to see the holy name in its full glory. So then that is still okay. It is not that dangerous, because the holy name is very powerful. It can destroy all our weaknesses. It can actually give us all power, right? So because we are not offensive towards the holy name. No, we have faith in the holy name, and we have certain weaknesses, no problem. Still, the holy name will be like, it can just eradicate all our weaknesses, and it can actually bring us to in front of the holy name in its full glory, right? So now the living entity is being walled, is being separated by these kind of issues, these kind of philosophical this ones are syllabic or weakness of heart and things like that. There's another way of putting it. So the anarthas and ignorance, we call it like this. So the anarthas are compared to cloud, and the ignorance is compared to mist or fog. See, anarthas are from thirst for material things. I want material enjoyment. Weakness of heart. Oh, I have to get up early in the morning, but then I'm not able to. It's like I don't have a second thought that holy name is non-different from Krishna. So I don't have a second thought. I have complete faith in the holy name, but then I am not able to do proper sadhana, proper this one, because of the weakness of heart, because of attachment, over attachment to material things. So, and then because of that, offenses also happens, right? So when these kind of things are there, so it is called one kind of this one, so anarthas. And the other one is so ignorance of the holy name. That means the holy name and the Lord are different and stuff like that. Ignorance of the Lord. So that means, I don't understand that Krishna is Supreme Lord, or there is one absolute truth that exists and things like that. I regard all the demigods are also as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and things like that. Then it is not a very good thing, right? So, and one of the living entity. So basically, the Lord, the holy name, the living entity, and the material creation. So if I have a wrong understanding of these things, or wrong conviction about these things, so then that is called ignorance, right? So both of these actually comes primarily due to the lack of sambandha gyan, so lack of a proper relationship or a proper understanding of the Lord and his energies, right? So when these things are there, so how we can actually go forward, how we can actually remove this anarthas and ignorance, and then be established in proper sambandha. So that we have discussed many, many times now in this seminar, and we will be discussing further also about this. So it is by taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and become expert in devotional service by the guidance of the spiritual master, by the blessings and mercy of the spiritual master. So that is how I get Sambandha Gyan. Somebody may ask, okay, I can study all these things in the scriptures, no? I understand that what is this material world, what is the living entities, and Krishna is there, Krishna has different energies, and we are also one energy, material nature is one energy, like that, all these things I can understand. So this is theoretical understanding. But when we serve the spiritual master and get his blessings, so then this theoretical understanding will become a practical realization, and that is called Sambandha Gyan. Right? It is not the bookish knowledge. It is not the theoretical knowledge. It's the practical perception. It's a practical reality or realization. That the kind of realization that I have. So that is called Sambandha Gyan. Right? So this is quite different from the normal bookish knowledge. Right? So when we get the Sambandha Gyan proper, So then we will be able to execute devotional service, like execute, or then we will be able to chant the names of the Lord in a pure way, right? Okay, so the effects of Namabas, oh, this is like very amazing. The Namabas is a faint reflection, and this faint reflection is so glorious. It is very auspicious, chief of all pious activities. All sins are destroyed if a person chants in Namabas, and diseases can be destroyed. Anxieties vanish and peace occurs. Demons, ghosts, and evil spirits flee. And more powerful than visiting all the holy places, best of all Shubha karmas, and one can attain the highest happiness in the material universe. That's how powerful is Namabas. Namabas can even give liberation, from the material existence. So that's so powerful. So the Namabas is very, very powerful actually, right? But it cannot give Krishna Prem. It cannot give entrance into the spiritual world. It cannot revive our relationship with the Supreme Lord. So all these things are there, but still you consider a faint reflection of the names of the Lord can create so wonderful, auspicious things in this material world, right? So it's so amazing. So now there are two kinds of Namabas. So one is without faith and another is with faith, right? So now we see, without faith, we will go deeper into it. So we have Sanketa. So that is chanting the name of Vishnu or Krishna with a material object in mind. Just like Ajamil, he was calling his son, right? So like, he got all his sins got destroyed, and he got a renewed lifetime, to execute bhakti, with a proper sambandha gyan, and then he went back to the spiritual world. So it is Sanketa, like chanting the names of Vishnu or Krishna with a material object in mind. He was not thinking of Krishna, he was thinking of his son and chanting. So then, he still gets benefit of that. And then chanting of the holy name unintentionally while thinking of some other object with the same sound, just like Yavana. So there was a Yavana who was passing stool in the forest, and a wild boar attacked him and then pierced him with his horn. And then the Yavanas, they are they don't like the boars, right? So they eat all non-vegetarian, but they don't eat pig, So, but now he's been pierced by a wild boar, and then he has to die. And at that time he sees the boar, and then he says, "Haram, haram." No, haram means like that which is untouchable, right? That which is not, that which is against their rules and regulations. So haram, haram. So like the name of Ram was there present in the haram. So because the name of Ram was chanted, so he got liberation. This is there in Narsimha Puran. So Narsimha Puran or Varaha Puran, somewhere it is there. So it is like, it's a very powerful thing, So where unintentionally chanted, and not exactly the name, of the Lord, but he chanted something else which contained the name of the Lord. Haram contained Ram. So with that, he actually got, wonderful result, right? And then, we have the Parihasa in a joking mood. So that is like Jarasandha. He was jokingly like, he was calling out Krishna. And Stoba, mocking, Sushipal, he did that. And Hela is out of, what is that? Contempt, out of means giving. It's a complete disrespectful utterance of the name, right? And if we see, this is the increasing order of offense, the Sanket. So that is the Ajamil's chanting. It is less offensive because he was not intending to create, or he was not intending to defame Krishna. So Parihas is joking, joking about Krishna, making fun of Krishna. So that's an offensive thing. And then Stoba is mocking. That's even more offensive. And Hela, that is like, you're actually offending Krishna very seriously, right? So these are all, these are all Namabas, chanting of the names of the Lord without faith, right? So these are all different ways in which the Namabas occurs. And then we see the with faith. Now we have another set of this one. So with faith, we have Chaya Namabas and Pratibimba Namabas. So Chaya Namabas means it comes directly from its source. What is the source of this faith? The source of faith is serving the spiritual master and getting his blessings and then acquiring the faith. So when we do that thing, or when by the proper practice of Krishna consciousness, we develop our faith. So then, that is called the faith coming from the proper source, right? And then, it actually, then still, like, why am I not able to access the pure name? Because of presence of, some quantity of ignorance and some quantity of weakness of heart. So, but in the Chaya Namabas, because I am properly earning that faith, the holy name destroys all the effects. Holy name destroys all this one, ignorance and weakness of heart. It just bulldozes everything, and then it just reveals the pure name of the Lord, to the sincere practitioner. And Pratibimba Namabas is influenced with someone with pure faith. No, it's just an external copy paste, right? So influenced with someone with pure faith. Oh, like this person is having so much emotions towards the Supreme Lord. So I will also, worship the Lord in that particular way. So he just cut copy paste in a very wrong way. The faith is developed without proper understanding. No, the faith coupled with proper sambandha gyan is solid. No, it is unshakable. But faith, which is sentimental in nature, so that is this Pratibamba Namabas, and it is influenced with, and like, even though he may acquire a faith, but still he earns for sense pleasure and liberation. No, that means he earns for the results of karma and jnana, right? So, but pure bhakti is jnana karmadi anavritam, uncovered by the jnana and karma. So, but here he is still having desires for sense pleasure and liberation. So this is only an outward symptom of faith, and such a person becomes a mayavadi or a sahajiya, right? And then by his practice of bhakti, he only increases his defects, but he will not be able to attain the goal, right? So that is why we should not take any shortcut. We should follow the principles given by the acharyas very nicely by rendering service to the spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada and the parampara very nicely and taking their blessings. So then we should earn the faith, and with the faith we should chant the names of Lord, and that chanting will help us in very nice way. Okay, so then Namabas is meant for whom? So like Haridas Thakur says, it is meant for mlechas and materialists and spiritually lazy people. Such people, for them the Namabas is there. So Krishna is so merciful. Krishna has given a provision. It's just like, you just pass by and then you see Balaji wines. You get some sukruti. Because you chanted the names of Balaji. In not intending to call the Supreme Lord. And then we have so many people named after the Supreme Lord, like Hari, Vishnu, Govinda, Keshava, Madhava, and things like that. So when we call those people with those names, so then we get Sukruti. We get Sukruti in the Namabas, right? So we are making some advancement. Okay. So now, like this ends the topic of the Namabas. And so we saw that different kinds of namabas, and then how to actually we didn't see we actually saw how to actually come out of it by sincere service to a bona fide spiritual master, and by the blessings of the spiritual master. So our anarthas which are there, those will be cleansed, and we will be able to chant the names with a pure faith, right? So now we see the other aspect, that is aparad. So Nama Aparad. So every day morning, all devotees should chant these names, chant these offenses, and then we should try to avoid. So we should try to remind ourselves, because it is just like Prahlad Maharaj. He was asked by his teachers, why do you chant the names of Vishnu? Why do you chant the names of Krishna? Your father is so angry on us. Why don't you give up all these things and chant Hiranyakashipu's name? And Prahlad Maharaj says that Yata Brahmayati Ayam Brahman Swayam Akarsha Sannido Tata me vidyate chetas chakrapane yadrichaya. So he says that it is not that I wish to chant the names of Krishna and Vishnu. So somehow, just like a magnet attracting a iron particle, so in the same way, this Vishnu is attracting me like anything. I'm not able to give up his association. It is only because of his mercy. I've got such an attraction towards him, and I'm not able to give up chanting his names, right? So this is the answer of Prahlad. So now we see that Supreme Lord is compared to a magnet, a very powerful magnet. And we, the living entity, is compared to an iron particle. And how can a magnet is present in the presence of a magnet, the iron particle is not getting attracted to the magnet? It is possible if two conditions are there. One is the magnet is ineffective, and second is the iron is rusted. So these are the two conditions in which the magnet and the iron particle cannot get attracted. So in our case, the magnet is Krishna. There is no fault is there in Krishna. Krishna is having the name Krishna. He is all attractive. No, it is not. It is never a condition that no, Krishna is less powerful in attracting the living entities. He is supremely powerful. So then the second condition is the living entity is rusted. No, the living entity is committing these 10 offenses, and because of which we are not able to get attracted to Krishna, right? So this is the main thing. And now we will be seeing, from now on, we will be seeing one by one all the offenses and the antidote to remove those offenses. And by performing these practical, very simple antidotes, bhakti is very simple. Bhakti is not complicated. So by practicing this very simple antidote, we will be like, we will be able to get closer to the holy name of Krishna. So now we see, one nice thing I'll tell you, like what to expect in the future slides. There will be a lot of description about the offenses. So, but then the remedy will be so simple. Remedy will be in 1 slide or 2 slides, that's all. So this means the offenses are so complicated and we are able to do it. And the remedy is so simple, but no, we should try to do that actually, right? So that is the thing. The remedy, the solution, the Krishna consciousness is very simple. To be non-Krishna conscious is very complex. And if we can do that, then we can very easily do the right thing, right? So we should be able to do the right thing. So now let's recite these names. So wherever you are, please be in mute and you can recite. So this is very important, and every day we should do this thing. So first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of Vedic Persian, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination, to give some interpretation to the holy names of the Lord, to commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting of the holy name of the Lord, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name, to not have complete faith in chanting the holy names, and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter, and also to be inattentive while chanting the holy names of the Lord, right? So these are all the various offenses that are there. And today we will discuss the first offense and its remedy, right? So the first offense is satam ninda namnaha paramam aparadam vitunute yata kyatim yatam katam usahate tat vigraham. To criticize the devotees of the Supreme Lord is a grievous offense to the holy name. How can Sri Nama Prabhu tolerate criticism of those great souls who are deeply devoted to him and who spread his glories throughout the world? Therefore, the first offense is criticism of sadhus and devotees, right? So now, in summary, criticism or harmful intent, that is ninda, to a person qualified as a devotee, that is sadhu, is considered a serious offense to the holy name, right? So this is the offense. So ninda, criticism or harmful intent towards whom? A sadhu, who is a devotee. So now for this, we should understand who's a sadhu, who's a devotee, that we should understand, and what is a ninda, how we can actually offend that particular person. So these two things are essential to understand to avoid this offense, right? So now first is, we will understand what is a sadhu. So these scriptures describe there are 24 different qualities of a sadhu. So we will just recite all of them. We will not go deeper into these like different symptoms of sadhu. And we will summarize at the end, right? So he is very kind to everyone. He does not make anyone his enemy. He is truthful. He is equal to everyone. No one can find any fault in him. He is magnanimous. He is mild. He is always clean. He is without possessions. Niskinchana. He works for everyone's benefit. And he is very peaceful. He is always surrendered to Krishna. He has no material desires. He is very meek. He is steady. He controls his senses. He does not eat more than required. He is not influenced by Lord's illusory energy. He offers respect to everyone. He does not desire any respect for himself. He is very grave. He is merciful. He is friendly. He is poetic. He is expert. He is silent. So 26 different qualities. Sorry, I told 24 in the beginning. So it's 26 different qualities are mentioned. But amongst them, I have bolded this particular quality. He is always surrendered to Krishna. right? So now we will see there is a two different categories which are made of these qualities. So the first is the primary quality, and the next is the secondary quality. So amongst all these 26, one quality is chosen as the primary quality, Krishnaika Saranam, exclusive surrender to Krishna and no one else, right? And surrender, exclusive surrender to Krishna. The prime quality is the most important. The secondary qualities may or may not be presented, may or may not be present immediately, but no, they will manifest gradually. No, Eshyasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana Sarvair Gunastatra Samasate Sura. So the primary quality, to qualify a person as a sadhu is Krishnaika Sharanam. So secondary qualities, all other qualities are secondary qualities, and secondary qualities without the primary is useless. Somebody is mild, somebody is very peaceful, but he is not surrendered to Krishna. So he cannot be called a sadhu. But somebody is not mild or somebody is not very peaceful, but he is surrendered to Krishna, but still he can be called a sadhu, that we will be seeing in the next slide. So the secondary qualities may vary in degree in various devotees, and according to the social position, such as grahastha, sannyasi, or a kshatriya, these qualities may be different. Like for example, he is merciful, and then like one particular thing, he is very meek, and I'm just seeing an antidote to a kshatriya. He is very mild, for example. So if he is a kshatriya devotee, just like Bhima, he can say like, he was not very mild. He was like very powerful, personality, right? And then also like, he eats very less. He does not eat more than required. So for Bhima, like, he was a ferocious eater. Rikodara, he is called. So can we say he is not a devotee? No. Like he is always surrendered to Krishna. When we see that he is always surrendered to Krishna, immediately, like, he becomes a devotee, right? So in that way, according to the social position, according to different, for a grahastha, certain qualities are very important. For a sannyasi, certain qualities are important. So in that way, like, there may be difference of these manifestation of these qualities according to the social position that a devotee is functioning in. And but the primary quality is Krishnaika Sharanam. So that is mandatory. That is definitely needed. So the traces of sin in a devotee. So even if there are traces of sin, if a devotee has exclusively taken up to Krishna consciousness, he should be regarded as a sadhu. Apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananyabhat sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. So here it's a very powerful shloka of Bhagavad Gita, wherein Krishna mentions that who is a sadhu? You may find a temporary or some kind of a durachara, like not a very sadachar and durachar. We call Vaishnava sadachar, we call it as Vaishnava etiquette. So the durachar may be there, So, but then if he is exclusively taking shelter of Krishna and he doesn't have any philosophical doubts that Krishna and his names are different, or Krishna is material, Krishna's body is material, and things like that. If he doesn't have all this kind of philosophical or Mayavadi kind of idea, but he has some durachara. So he is exclusively surrendered to Krishna, but he has got some durachara. It is just like some person is like completely filthy, but he is going to take a bath. So then he is not accused of being dirty, because he is anyway going to take a bath. He will get purified, right? So in the same way, like a person may be like having durachara, bad qualities. So if he has bad qualities, he will not be able to experience Krishna fully. Definitely that is there. But his faith in Krishna is proper. That means that faith in Krishna will purify him completely. And very soon he will become Samyak Vyavasito hi saha. So very soon he will become a saintly devotee. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination, right? So like he is very properly situated. So he should be regarded as a sadhu still. And then what are the ways in which we can commit ninda? Sadhu ninda is the offense that we are discussing. So till now we discussed who is a sadhu, who is having 26 qualities, and amongst them primarily Krishnaika Sharanam. If that is there, he is a sadhu. And how we can possibly offend such a person? So 4 varieties, no, like different varieties are there. His caste by birth. Oh, this is like a Shudra Vaishnava. No, it is like Vaishya Vaishnava. Like he is not a very, this one, he is not a very high caste Vaishnava, right? So by his birth, no, caste by birth. And then previous sins and faults committed. Oh, like now he is a Vaishnava. Like, no, before what he was doing, like he was like, no, such a bad person. So this is like, committing sadhu ninda based on his previous faults. An unpremeditated act of sin. A devotee, a sincere devotee, by some accident, he commits a sin. No, he commits, like he violates a regulative principle or something like that. So then we make it a big issue, and then we try to defame such a person. So then that is also called as sadhu ninda, right? And then slight traces of previous sin. No, he has got some angry nature, or he has got some like previous backlog is there. No, some kind of his way of functioning and things like that. So if that is there, but still, though these faults may be present in a sadhu, these are not the grounds on which to criticize the sadhu. Because if the primary thing is, if he is surrendered to Krishna, if he is attached to Krishna, then he should be respected as sadhu. Whatever offense he may commit, whatever like durachar he may have, but still he should be considered a sadhu. It doesn't mean that he should be respected and glorified like a very great person, but still he is not still an object of criticism, right? So he should be corrected. He should be properly told, like, what is his mistake, and he should be corrected by a competent senior authority. But then he should not be criticized publicly, or he should not be, we should not have some bad opinion about such a person, right? So these are all some effective, this one's very important things, right? So these are all comprises the sadhu ninda, and then dangers of doing sadhu ninda. What will be the effect of doing sadhu ninda? Bhakti does not reside with sadhu ninda. Krishna says that, like, with great difficulty, nobody in this world surrenders to me. With great difficulty, somebody is surrendering, and he has got so much backlog of sins and so much backlog of so many bad habits and things like that. But still, he is trying to come to me. And you are trying to defame such a person. No, that's it. Like, Krishna removes bhakti from the heart of such a person, and sadhu ninda grows into an offense, and thus acts as an impediment in progress of bhakti. This can actually destroy the bhakti completely. So this is called the wild elephant, mad elephant offense. So mad elephant, what it does, it goes into a green, nice field, and it just destroys everything, which is there in the field. So all the bhakti that we do, all that we make advancement, in the way of proper chanting and proper execution of religious principles, or regulative principles, and proper execution of Shravan Kirtan, proper service to a pure devotee, spiritual master, we can do all these things, and we can destroy all these things, just by committing sadhu ninda, right? So we should be very careful. Rather we should try to serve the devotees of the Lord. And now we see, why does this sadhu ninda actually happens? We all know this thing. We have studied this thing many, many times. Why does it at all happen in the first place? So this is association with women. Especially women means, like, it is association with the opposite sex against the Vedic principles. That is a vidhi purvaka. Like vidhi purvaka means it is according to the Vedic principles, and avidhi purvaka means like it is against the Vedic principles. So that is direct association with of women, and association of women without, this is like avidhi purvaka, without, like, means without the relationship of marriage, no one associates with a woman. Association means like loosely talking with some women, joking with them, without any purpose, and things like that. And even that is called as association with women. So association with the opposite sex, we should be very careful. We should not loosely associate with the opposite sex. We should be like, as much as the service demands, we should associate with the opposite sex. Otherwise we should not have very loose association, right? And association with women without marriage, and then association in unlawful marriage, where man comes under the control of women, right? And then vidhi purvaka means, according to the rules, the wife should be submissive to the husband, and the husband should act as a Vaishnava. There may be like many different shades to these things. This is like two extremes. So, if we are there in different shades, so then we take guidance of a senior Grahastha devotee, like, they are competent and they have advanced in Krishna consciousness nicely. So they can actually guide us in how to actually deal with in these situations, deal with the shady situations, not the ekdam 0 and not ekdam 100, somewhere in between. So we should take guidance of the senior Grahastha devotees and practice Krishna consciousness nicely, right? So if we have improper association with the opposite sex, then that will trigger sadhu ninda. It's a very subtle thing actually, right? So, and then the second cause of sadhu ninda is association with people who don't have devotion to Krishna, such as Mayavadis, pretenders as devotees, that is sahajiyas, and atheists. If we associate with these people, then we will, then the sadhu ninda will come. It is automatic, right? So if we block these two things, if we associate with the opposite sex only as much as the service demands, and if we at all have to associate with the opposite sex, we will genuinely get married and we will associate with the opposite sex in a rightful manner. So then we will be saved from sadhu ninda. And if we avoid the association of Mayavadis, sahajiyas, and atheists, that means we don't share ideas with them. We distribute books to them, we give prasad to them and things like that, but we don't intimately share ideas with them. We may even work in our work environment, but then we don't intimately share our ideas. We don't share our heart with them, and we don't hear the revelation of their heart in confidence, right? So we don't do these things. So then, we don't accept prasad or give prasad, in a very intimate way. Definitely we should distribute prasad. So when we do these things, so then sadhu ninda happens, right? So these two are the causes of sadhu ninda. Again, we should be very, very grateful to our acharyas. So amazing. Sadhu ninda happens only if we do these two things. And the acharyas have very clearly documented it. So wonderful. We should be very, very eternally grateful and thankful to these acharyas. Without them, how else we can actually attain the goal of Krishna Prem? It's very, very difficult. And then different types of devotees and appropriate respect that we have to give. So now we discussed about the ninda. Now we will discuss about the appropriate respect. There are three levels of devotees. Kanishta means a very neophyte devotee. Madhyama is a mediumly advanced devotee, and Uttama is a very advanced devotee. And how should we respect them? There is a nice shloka from Nectar of Instruction that is there. Actually, the Harinam Cintamani describes in much more detail. Just to make it concise, I have taken this shloka from Nectar of Instruction. So this says, Krishneti yasya giritam manasa driyeta dikshastite tanitibascha bhajantamisham shushrusaya bhajana vignamananyamanya nindadishunyam hridam ipshita sangalabdya. Right? So this is Krishneti yasya giritam manasa driyeta. So we should offer respects, honor mentally manasa driyeta. To whom Krishneti yasya giritam. His tongue is chanting the names of the Lord. Right? One mentally honor the devotee who chants the name of Lord Krishna. Right? So we offer respects to every single devotee who is chanting the names of Krishna. And then, dikshasti chet trinati vischa bhajantamisham. So he is engaged in bhajana, in properly surrendering to a spiritual master, or if he is properly engaged by a competent authority. So then also he is considered to be a properly engaged. He's not just chanting the names of Lord, he's properly engaged in the service of the Lord, according to the direction of a bona fide spiritual master or a competent senior authority. So then, he is, this is translated as one should offer humble obeisances. That is not just mental respect, physical respect also should be given. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation and is engaged in worshipping the deity. So practically engaged in rendering service to the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord in the form of deity. So if he is engaged in service, then he should be offered physical obeisances. And then one should associate with and faithfully serve the pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of propensity to criticize others. So, ninda dishunya hridam ipsita sangalabdya. So we should take sangha, we should open our heart and share all the, take guidance and things like that from a person who is very advanced, right? So now we see the remedy for sadhu ninda, the remedy is that we should beg forgiveness, right? So we should sincerely feel repentant, cry at the feet of the devotee, "Oh Prabhu, please forgive my offense and give the mercy of the Vaishnava to this evil-minded blasphemer." And the devotee, being merciful, will forgive and show her mercy. As I told, committing an offense is very, very complex. And then, like the remedy is so simple. It's very, very simple. Like with open heart and with genuine repentance, if we go and beg, just like here, Durvasa Muni is begging, from Ambarish Maharaj, and Ambarish Maharaj immediately forgives, and then immediately shows mercy upon, Durvasa, right? So today we learned the holy name's identity as non-different from Krishna, and the effective sadhana, sadhana of chanting the primary names of Krishna, and sadhana should be to chant avoiding namabas and aparad, and namabas and like we detailedly discussed about namabas and remedy to namabas, that is sincerely serving a spiritual master and getting his blessings, and first offense to the holy name and its remedy. So this also we discussed. So this is the essential things that we learned. So it is already 8:30, but I have two important practical tips. We will see them and then we will take the question and answers. So one is that respect without being exploited, right? So respect every devotee irrespective of whether they display the qualities of devotee or not. All the qualities of sadhu they are displaying or not, still we respect the devotee. They could be very well situated in bhakti and all their bad qualities may vanish very soon. We don't know. Let's give the benefit of doubt and let's respect every single devotee, right? And then at the same time, associate with a lot of caution. There may be many who exploit in the garb of a devotee. We should associate with devotee with a lot of caution. Associate means intimately sharing our heart, intimately, taking spiritual instructions and like confidential instructions and things like that. So take time to understand the devotee, to share things or to take guidance. We should not do this like on the first go, right? So we should take some time and we should properly execute this thing. And then the next practical tip is attachment to the service of Sri Guru. The root cause of offenses and namabas is improper sambandha gyan. And then we can attain this sambandha gyan by sincere service to Sri Guru. This we have repeated many, many times in the seminar. So, and again, we will do this a few more times also. And by the blessings of a pure devotee, we can awaken to real knowledge. Thus, that will give us immunity from committing offenses and things like that. And that gives us clarity to see Krishna in all his aspects. And thus we can chant effectively, right? A sincere prayer to the spiritual master can make a lot of difference. Don't think that my spiritual master is far away. Whether my spiritual master is listening to my prayer or not, whether he at all knows that a soul like me exists in this world. No, we should not have all this false notions. Spiritual master is spiritual. Spiritual means Krishna and the spiritual master are non-different and they can relate with us, very nicely. So we should very reverently take the names of the spiritual master and chant the pranams of the spiritual master, pranam mantra of the spiritual master. So in that way, just like before chanting, before starting to chant, we take the pranam mantra of spiritual master and then we take the pranam mantra of Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Oh, like Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who's very dear to Krishna. Right? So I am offering my obeisances unto you, right? And then Namaste Saraswate Deve. No, I am offering obeisances unto you. O Saraswate Deve, O descendant of Saraswati Goswami, O descendant, O follower of Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So, O Saraswate Deve, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine. You preach the message of message about Sri Chaitanya, and everywhere, all over the world, you preach the message of Sri Chaitanya. Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschatya Deshatharine. Right? So you actually, you actually preach to even Nirvisheshavadis and Shunyavadi, or you oppose these theories of Nirvishesha and Shunyavadi, and then you establish the pure science of Bhakti. And such a spiritual master, such a great personality as Srila Prabhupada, I am taking shelter of you. Please award me pure holy names. Please destroy my anarthas. Please destroy my ignorance. And please award me pure holy name. Right? So in this way, when we actually chant, And when we actually start to chant, and then we will make tremendous advancement. Krishna say Tomar, Krishna dete para, Tomar aisa kati ache. We should have complete faith in this. Sri Guru and Srila Prabhupada, they have Krishna. And if they wish, they can give Krishna right away, right? They can destroy all the offenses. Srila Prabhupada used to say, like, no, what is the problem? You tell me, I'll kick with my boot, and all your problems will be solved, right? So we should just go and beg. Like, we should identify the exact problem and we should reveal it to the spiritual master, and we should chant the pranam mantras of the spiritual master, and we should reveal and we should pray, and you'll see the magic. The spiritual master can do this magic. He has the power to do this magic, because that is his role, to destroy the ignorance, to destroy the anarthas, and to give us a proper sambandha gyan so that we can practice Krishna consciousness effectively, right? So with this, we come to the conclusion. So now we will take question answers, and till the 8:45, right? So, okay.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Supriya here. Prabhu, you had talked about this primary names, secondary names, and you had talked about in Namabas liberation is possible, but we cannot achieve Krishna Prem. Then what exactly liberation you're talking about, Prabhu?
Liberation means getting out of the material world.
Okay, but getting out of the material world, what is the other option? We will only go to the spiritual world, right?
No, we can float in the Brahma Jyoti.
Okay, but the desire, if the desire is not there to go into the Brahma Jyoti, we will not go, right, Prabhu?
No, it can offer. No, just like demons, they didn't desire to go to the Brahma Jyoti, but Krishna killed them and they went to Brahma Jyoti, right? So like that. So when the offenses, like when all our sins are cleansed, so we are no more entitled to be there in the prison. So we will be let out of the prison. But because we don't have any house to go, so we will just we will just roam in the street, like that. Okay. So now the next question is, how come Yavana chanting haram is namabas and not namaparad? So namaparad means he should criticize a devotee, or he should equate the name of the Lord with demigods, or he should do any one of those 10 things, right? So then only it is considered to be namaparad. No, otherwise he just takes the name without proper understanding. So then the name still works. The name is very powerful, it still works. So now when the names are taken without any offense, so that produces wonderful effects. And when the names are taken without any offense, with the proper sambandha gyan, with the proper understanding of the Supreme Lord, then it can actually take us to prema, right? So that is the two different. This is always asked. Devotees usually used to ask, when new people come and they chant the names of the Lord, they seem to be in so much ecstasy. Prabhu, I don't get that ecstasy. So like we go through a curve actually. The curve is like when the new person, he experiences nice like bliss in chanting because he has not committed any offense. And then he starts seeing devotees and the elements which are connected to Krishna as ordinary. And because he commits offenses, his actually bliss and the experience in Krishna consciousness actually goes down. And then when he properly serves and again develops sambandha gyan, and he gets proper understanding about Krishna and all his energies, so then he is properly situated, and at that time he again regains in much more glory the bliss in the process of Krishna consciousness, right? So that's why it is called namabas. And okay, so if we did mental criticism of someone, should we go and seek forgiveness from them? They might ask for what we thought, which will get embarrassing. So many of these mental things, we can actually, if the situation is not congenial, so first we can actually start criticizing ourselves from mentally, and then we can actually pray to the Lord and pray to the spiritual master that, see, like, this is my bad state of existence. This is how I am so bad. I'm thinking so bad about people around, devotees around. Like, when will I become a proper devotee? When will I give proper respect to every single Vaishnava, right? So when we actually pray like that to the Supreme Lord, so then that also will actually take us out. In this thing, we should also remember there is one important aspect that is the previous conditioning. Sometimes like we will only be like astonished, why am I thinking so bad about this devotee? Like just now I was just thinking about his glories, and suddenly I'm thinking so bad about this devotee. Maybe it is due to the conditioning of the mind, from the previous previous conditioning of the mind. So this is a battle actually. Many times this thing may come. We are just there in a nice program and everything is going nice, and the devotees are so nice over there, but still the mind, the crooked mind actually finds some fault in some devotee. You see, like this devotee, he entered without offering obeisances to the Lord. Maybe like he just saw a devotee and then like he just forgot, genuinely. So, but then the mind actually catches that. You see, like, no, he's not a proper devotee. No, he's not offering obeisances properly, right? Or no, like that. So this may actually happen, right? So then immediately we should criticize. No, he's so nice a devotee. No, he's dedicating his life, or he's dedicating so much of his time for preaching mission. He's doing so much of services, and he's chanting the names of Krishna. No, I should respect him, right? So why should I become so critical about so many different nuances? That is why my seniors, my mentor, always used to tell me that all the rules and regulations applies only to you and not to others. He used to repeatedly tell me this thing, and that has become like very it always actually vibrates. This probably he told me like maybe 10-12 years back, but then it is so very powerful a statement. It is just ringing in my mind. So we should always see that, like, all the rules and regulations apply only to others, only to me and not to others, right? So that is a very important thing. And if you want to commit offense, we should just reverse this thing. All the rules and regulations apply to others, and I am the only appointed officer to find all the faults, right? So then we can very easily commit offenses. Okay, so then next is, what are the advantages of chanting the secondary name of the Lord? So that we had mentioned. So we will get piety, material piety, and we will get liberation. So we can get at the max to the level of liberation. So that's the this one. And sometimes we see that this Paramatma and the other names of Krishna, secondary names of Krishna, are invoked, but then invoked in conjoint with the primary names. So then the devotee is not actually referring to the secondary name, is actually referring to the primary name. So now, like here, especially we are seeing that as a sadhana, we should chant the primary names of Krishna, like, and we don't have much of, we don't need to break our head. So our spiritual masters have given us Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So which is involving Krishna and Srimati Radharani, and another form of Krishna, that is Radhika Raman or Balaram or Sri Ram. So like that's the meaning of the word Rama. So these are all primary names of Krishna. So then we are properly situated. So secondary names, the advantages is or the goal or the result that we can get is punya and liberation maximum. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, just continuation with this question. The names like Narayan and Vishnu, they will not give Krishna prema, but they can definitely give place in Vaikuntha, which is also a type of liberation. So what kind of names are these? Are they secondary or they primary?
Okay, so secondary or primary is defined based on their relationship with the material world, or the relationship with the leelas of the Lord. So Vishnu means one who exists everywhere. So it is an indirect glorification of the Lord. And then Narayana is if I'm not wrong, who is the maintainer of all the living entities. So this is one of the meanings like of Narayana, and there are many meanings of Narayana. So this is still not the completely in association or in relationship with the devotees' pastimes, right? So pastimes of the Lord in connection with the devotees. So they may award the liberation, they may award the liberation in the five kinds of liberations. So that is like Sarishti, Samipya, Sarupya, and stuffs like that. So they may give entrance into the Vaikuntha Loka. So even that is considered like we are practitioners of Krishna consciousness in the mood of entering into Goloka Vrindavan. So for a person who's trying to enter into Goloka Vrindavan, even these liberations are also distractions in his practice of Krishna consciousness. So he should be like chanting the names of the Lord Lord Krishna, especially in association with his dear devotees of the Lord, with his dear devotees. So then it becomes very powerful, right? Okay, so definition of Namabas. You can imagine the holy name to be the full sun, and if the holy name's effect is like blocked by thick rain cloud, like the sun is blocked by thick rain cloud, so a faint reflection actually comes. So sometimes in the night, if you see the moon, so a faint reflection comes behind the clouds. No, you can understand the moon is there, but it is not giving full this one, what is that, rays. No, that is called Namabas. It's a faint reflection of the holy name, or faint effect of the holy name, right? That's called Namabas. So we have finished our time. So I request devotees to repost these questions in the WhatsApp group in morning, right? So then we can take up the rest of the questions. So thank you all very much for giving your valuable time to understand this very important subject of chanting the names of the Lord. And please offer prayers to Krishna. Please offer prayers to the spiritual master. And they are very powerful. They can actually award a very clear darshan. For us, clear darshan means clear chanting of the names of the Lord and clear hearing of the names of the Lord. If we can get that, we are like quite successful. We are like, we should immediately thank the Lord, because it is not because of our success, it's because of Lord's mercy, the spiritual master's mercy. We should always thank them, and more we thank, more we get it, right? So thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.